If sport has ever got you through a bad week, made you feel part of something, or started a friendship, then this podcast is for you. Welcome to Across the Codes. I'm Karabelo.
And I'm Bali. This is a space for sports lovers who care about more than just the scorelines. We're here for the passion, the friendships, the comfort, and the moments that sports brings into our lives. No matter the code, no matter the team, if you love sports, you're home.
So this week's episode is a bit of a special one, special edition that we are having, where we'll be strictly talking about the biggest derby in South Africa, the Soweto Derby. But before we get anywhere or we start anything, we'll start with the business of this house, what we always do. Friend, tell me how you are feeling, but explain it in sports terms.
So, I guess it's very fitting for the conversation we're about to have. But right now, how I'm feeling is I feel like Kaizer Chiefs and Tshepang Moremi just scored in the first 5 minutes of the game. Last week, I've been saying that this is my biggest fixture. Like, it feels like such a big fixture, and I have to do things right. I have to mark like man to man, but it's like everything's just coming at me very fast. I know, like, it's quite like the wounds are still fresh, but that's really how I feel. Like, I can't think of any other thing to explain how I'm feeling, but that's how I'm feeling.
You know what's funny? I also have a Soweto Derby reference because I feel like I'm Pulamodi. I'm trying my best to push through, but every time I'm trying, Kamogelo Sebelele is just in front of me. Kazam, I'm trying to get past him, but I'm unable to. This week has been a lot. There's just so much to do. I feel like I always have a lot to do, but there's not enough time. Like I said last week, I feel like 24 hours in a day is not enough. There's so much to do. We're juggling life, relationships, friendships, school, work. There's a lot that's just going on. And I give it.
No, for real, I get it. I love that we both have a Soweto Derby reference because, like, even with me, like, what do you do? Like when you have it's just 5 minutes, like 4 minutes even that the game has started. What do I do now? Like, where do I go? I don't want to concede 2 more goals. One is enough. Like, you can concede in a game, right? And you can, if things are not going well for you, it's okay. But ultimately, like, you have to do something, fix something in the system for you to be able to be fine. So I'm praying that my fixture doesn't end in a 3-0 situation, that this 1-0 I can turn it around. But I believe in us, friend. Even though you're up against man of the match, it's okay because one game doesn't define you, right? So I think that's how we should think about our situations.
I'm just praying that they substitute Kamogelo Sebelele before me. Because if he doesn't move, it's going to be hard for me to go through, Wabo. But that aside, let's get into today's episode. Today's episode is a special one where we'll be talking about everything Soweto Derby, and we have little surprises for you guys today. Before we even tell you what the surprise is about or what is going on there, let's talk about it. What did you make of the starting lineup? What did you think of the Soweto Derby? How was the match for you?
So for me, I remember when you were predicting what's going to happen in this game, I said it was going to be a draw. But I was working on the last few games because you're only as good as your last game. You're not really only as good as your last game, but that's what we say because what else can we derive your current form from, right? So obviously because we weren't doing so well that Sundowns game, I felt like we missed an opportunity with the starting lineup. A starting lineup is very important. I think that this one was spot on. I saw it and I immediately said, I actually can't say what I thought because that's not very media trained of me to say. I'll tell you on the side though. But I felt that was perfect. I haven't seen a perfect, or what seems perfect to me as a fan, a lineup from Coach Wadu in a really long time, right? And I felt that it was well executed. So in the middle, obviously Pirates had Makahleni Makhala and Bata. And that worked flawlessly for me because they won those second balls. They were able to also hold and dictate the tempo, which was something that was lacking in that Sundowns game, right? And we were so in control of the midfield, which is something that I felt like I thought Chiefs was lacking, right? In the middle with Chiefs, I think also there was a bit of like they changed some of their regular lineups, right? Or their regular people rather in the lineup. And it was showing, right? It was showing. I also felt that it's a bit of a different one for me because if you concede in the first 5 minutes of the game, immediately then the game changes for you. Your game, the model and the system and the plan that you are going into the game with is immediately ruined, right? So it's hard for me to say, was the strategy going to work? Was the strategy not going to work? Because I feel like if we had given them like 20, 30 minutes to get into the game without the goal that happened with Tepang Moreni, that we were probably going to see a more balanced Soweto Derby, but we didn't get that. So I was wrong, but I was happy that I was wrong. 3 goals, though, was a lot. I think well done to Orlando Pirates for 3 goals to 0. Like that clean sheet, I was praying that they hold on to because it's also a goal difference conversation at this point. You know, we spoke about Pirates needing to win all the games in order for them to have any real chance at winning the league because we know that Sundowns locks in at this stage of the season. But I also felt that we locked in as well. 3 goals to 0 to a Kaizer Chiefs that, like, Kaizer Chiefs, especially in a derby situation, you can't write them off. It doesn't matter. But also they were third or fourth. I think they're fourth now. No, they're fifth. They're fourth. I'm not sure in the league. So it was looking like it was going to be more balanced. We didn't get that, but I also think I attribute that imbalance to the first goal happening in 5 minutes. But other than that, I was really pleased to see how our boys were playing. It's a very one-sided analysis, I know, but it's a derby, so of course my passion is with the club I support the most. But yeah, I think we showed such character. The boys were like there was no point in that game where I felt that any of them were unsure what they were doing or unsure of like who they are and what they can do in this game. And you could see it. You could see in how calm they were, how composed they were, and also taking the chances that they often don't really take, or sometimes we say that they're not bearing their chances like fast enough. That Mahopa goal speaks to that. So I'm overall very happy. Can we keep this line up for more games? I think we shouldn't change too many things at this stage of the season. This one worked against the Kaizer Chiefs that's in the like running for the league. So I don't know why we must change it, you know, unless like obviously making tweaks here and there and having different impact players come on. But personally, let's just stay with this one. I don't know what you think.
I would love to say let's stay with this one, but we know our coach. Our coach loves rotating. He gives a lot of people chances, which is why I was so shocked to see that his son was not on the starting lineup. I expected his son to start. However, I did see like reports during the week that Mbata is back, so that gave me hope that okay, if Mbata is back, Mbata can start, you know. And I feel like a lot of us saw the importance of a midfield that has a player with the profile of talent Mbata, like partnered with Maketleni Makaula. Literally, there was no through way in that midfield. They were locked in. They dealt with it so well. So when I looked at the lineup, I was shocked fairly not to see Coach Stan. But then when I saw that we're starting with a police and Moremi as well, I just knew we were going for pace. We are going for pace now. We put our speedy players on the wings. We are going to attack them with pace. And also seeing Rele in that creative role, the number 10 role, I was like, okay, I see it. The game plan is easy. Hit them early and just keep going, you know. And it really worked for us. I think we had a condition. I think in the Sundowns game, we were very worried or not too happy with how Sibilibili played. But in this derby, I don't know what happened to him. It's like he just was like, you know what, I'm going to lock in and give the biggest performance I've ever given. And it was rewarded with a man of the match. I really think he played so well on that right. He must just a buledi pokoto because we know he put Pule Modi inside there. Modi could not go anywhere. He could not go past him. He was trying. How no one could go past him. Sibilibili was just locked in and working on that right. So I think, yes, this time the coach got it right from the lineup. He got it perfectly. It was spot on. And yes, like it may be a one-sided analysis because like both of us were Paris fans. But on the Chiefs side, I feel like I personally don't know what their plan was. Looking at their starting lineup, I don't know what they wanted to achieve. Even with changing their normal players, like okay, they removed Paseka Mako, they moved Aiden to the left side. They dropped Solomons for Munyani, maybe because Munyani has played a lot of derby games. And then they brought Jabulon Ngobo out of nowhere to come play with Lebohang Mabue. And then their front three is Chislet, Lilepo, and Silva. I'm like, okay, win, what's going on? On top of that, they also have Pule Modi. So I didn't know what the plan was because they couldn't go through the middle, they couldn't go through the left, they couldn't go through the right. So I don't know where their goal was going to come from. Even the match, it just looked like a one-sided affair. It just looked like we are just there. And if we could have punished them even more. We could have scored more than the 3 goals that we did. So I'm very happy. I actually did a prediction for the PSL Cape where I said we'd win 3-1. I was just giving them that one goal, but clearly they did not want that one goal because they didn't get it. But overall, I really think it was a good match. I'm happy that our coach won his first derby, and there was just a lot happening. You know, we also coming from a cup defeat. We want to, make ourselves known. Chiefs, on the other hand, they're coming from 2 defeats as well. They also want to. But then when the match started playing, it seemed like only one team wanted the win more than the other team.
Okay, so I want to ask, do you feel like this win, right, puts us in the driver's seat for the league title, like that it solidifies, so it puts us firmly in the conversation? Because obviously we've been doing well, and then there was that hiccup with Sundowns, and then it was like, okay, these people don't really look like they can actually do it because they're choking again. But now it's like you win a derby by 3 goals. Like, I don't know when was the last 3-0 also. When was the last one that ended this way, in this fashion, where there was 0 goals? I remember in the first half, I texted you and I was like, having 0 shots on target and only having 1 shot for 45 minutes is not unacceptable. But I think that speaks to the strength of Orlando Pirates and how well they're performing at this stage. Do you think that this is the game we can say it, like, we're truly confident that Pirates is going to win the league?
100%, like 100%. And I saw Promise tweeted yesterday. It was a tweet that said, our coach is the first coach since, I think, Ruud Krol to win their first derby. And then her retweet was, the signs are there, we're winning the league. And that is exactly how I feel. I don't think we had a hiccup against Sundowns. When you look back at that game was for the taking. We could have easily gotten a point or 3 out of the game. It's just unfortunate that we didn't. Looking at how they played, our boys do have the hunger and they do have the capabilities to take it all the way. So judging from this one, I'm waiting to see the next derby as well. But I think, yes, we can take it all the way, and we are going to take it all the way. I feel like, yeah, I'm going to put myself on the line now. We are going to take it all the way.
No, I agree. I'm usually very like on the fence as well, but I think I agree. I think for me, I always want to see and I want to be convinced that we can do it. That we keep speaking about our player quality and the depth of our bench, but I think we need to see that. You need to see an undeniable win, and I feel like this Saturday was one of those days where I was like, this is an undeniable win. This is an undeniable team, and it can definitely be a championship team. And we're well on our way. So I hope all the best, with the rest of the games. I know Sundowns did win their game against Sekhukhune today, so it's a goal difference conversation. So hopefully, we can stay on top of that, and it really comes down to the wire. If we lose the league and it's because, it's a goal difference thing, I'm okay with that. It'll hurt. It'll hurt probably more than I don't know what. It'll hurt so bad. But if it happens, it's better than like that you lost points or you were, losing points along the way. It's a different conversation there, but I also think I'm convinced. But hey, let's see.
We will see indeed. And I'm trying my best to not focus on whatever Mamelodi Sundowns is doing, because I just want to see our games and for us to lock in. That thing, yeah, own race, own pace. I just want to see us do well and us just keep on grinding, getting those points. And I'm actually quite happy, and with what you said, this was a very convincing win. It was a very comfortable win. There's no room for doubt or any questions. The boys really did well. Like, Soweto Derby sold out. You are the away team because we were away yesterday, and we scored 3 goals. 3, 2 in the first half, and then 1 in the second half. Like, you don't even give them a chance to score. That is insane. That is quite good. Especially how bona almost the last debuts, Kibodi 2-1, 1-0, not really high scoring. I think the last high scoring one that I went to was that 3-2 win. Babolete, we conceded, but here we did not concede. They were blocking, and you could see how they want to block. Look at the blocks that Sibilibili made. Libone Siema was also making blocks. That Sipo Chaini miscatch, and then Hoto was there too. Nobody wanted to concede. That was clear. Nobody wanted to concede. They didn't want to give Chiefs a chance on the ball. They just wanted to be the ones to dictate the game, which is exactly what they did. They dominated the game. They gave their results, and yeah, I'm just happy. What a beautiful derby. What a beautiful week for South African football, especially if you support Orlando Pirates.
You know what? That's another conversation I think we can have, but also given how special this episode is to speak about like the squad quality, right? Because this is something I've been seeing. Like, Kaizer Chiefs fans outside the stadium with all of these interviews. Those interviews are funny, by the way. There's this specific one. I'm just losing the name of the TikTok page, but like the most unhinged things, so passionate, beautiful, just like, venting about what has happened in the game. But we're seeing kind of this frustration they have with squad quality. But on paper, personally, I don't see how Kaizer Chiefs is not like one of the strongest teams in the league in terms of squad quality. Obviously, we can speak about like Yosukukune's Pirates and Sundowns are obviously in that conversation, but it's like let's actually look at like the squad quality and truly look at, is this a coaching strategy thing that is happening at Kaizer Chiefs, or is it really squad quality? So I think that's a conversation I really want us to have one of these days, maybe even today, but we never know.
I definitely think it's a conversation we need to have. Maybe we could do it one of these days when we have somebody who actually supports the team. Because, there's one thing I always say to my friend. I'm like, nobody knows a team more than a person who supports it. Like, if you support Mamelodi Sundowns, there's nothing you will tell me about Orlando Pirates, because I'm the one who supports Orlando Pirates. I'm the one who watches it week in, week out. Because we can sit here and say, no, it's a personnel issue, whereas some of their fans feel like, no, it's the staff, it's even the players, it's whatever. They'll give you the reasons because they're the ones who watch it week in and week out, but maybe we'll make a plan. We'll make a plan and actually talk about it, because it's a very it's a discussion that we need to have. It's a topic that we need to talk about, because they are like, even when they signed, when the season started, the fans were so happy. Like, they were saying, okay, these are good signings. But now that they have these signings, what's not clicking? Like, that's not working out. Is it that the signings they thought were good but they're not good, or the coaching? What actually is the problem? But yeah, let me not say too much. I think we should have this conversation in the near future. So, like we said, this episode is a special edition episode, and we do have a special surprise or a special guest for you today. Our guest will be talking to us about the Soweto Derby, what happened, what the expectations were, and just what the experience or the match was. So, I'm going to let our guest introduce themselves. So, please, the floor is yours, and welcome to Across the Codes.
Thank you so much for having me. I go by the name of Lesego, and I am a Kaiser Chiefs and a Barca supporter.
Thank you so much for being here, Lesego. It means the world to us. We have spoken about the game, and we did say we think our analysis was a bit one-sided because, of course, both of us are Orlando Pirates fans. So we decided to ask a Chiefs fan to come and join us, and thank you so much for accepting our invitation. Now, going into the Soweto Derby, just quick question. What did you make of the starting lineup? What were your expectations when you saw your starting lineup?
Going into the derby, well, first things first, congratulations to Orlando Pirates. I think that was a very mature performance from Pirates. And with regards to Kaiser Chiefs, going into the game, I think most of us were very surprised to know that Peterson won't be here. Well, for myself, I wasn't really aware of the finger injury that he got. So I was very much shocked to see Bruce Vuma in the starting lineup. And immediately when I saw that name, I already knew that it's going to be a very, very long one. And the coaches didn't make the matter easier by playing a very defensive lineup going to the derby, knowing very well that it's easy for Pirates to exploit spaces in behind your defense. So I think it was a very flat lineup, and some inclusions didn't make sense with regards to consistency because I didn't really expect Monyani to be part of the team, considering that Solomons was always the one playing. And it was also very surprising to see Bule Modi. I honestly don't know what motivated that inclusion, because there's never been a game whereby he gives us 100%. It's always a game that lags. It's always a game with mistakes. So it was very surprising to see uh, those players in the starting lineup. And on the side of Pirates, it was very much expected when it comes to their approach. It was a very direct approach and a very well structured team, as opposed to Kaiser Chiefs. They were all over the place. They were really second to everything. And conceding the first goal in the 4th minute of the game just really summed up everything for us.
I think I was also a bit shocked to not see Brendan Peterson, but I think Mark Gleason mentioned something about him having an appendix surgery. But I was also very surprised to see the young players nowhere near the squad, because I feel like this was a game we expected to see them. But I was talking to Mbadi about this, that I feel like I do not understand what Chiefs' game plan was. I do not understand. Did they want to come through the wings? Did they want to go through the middle? What do you think the game plan was? Was it to attack with like your speedy wingers like Bule Modi, or maybe go through the middle with Bo Lebohang Mabuyo? What was the plan? Like, what do you think the plan was?
I think going into the game, the coaches didn't really want to win this game. I think they were very conservative, and a draw would have been a success for them. So I think they were playing a very defensive game, hoping to catch maybe Pirates on a counter or play the balls from deep, because we know that Aiden McCarthy does very well when it comes to breaking the line with the deep long balls. So I think the coaches didn't really go into this game wanting to win. Uh, when it comes to our wingers, they were completely shut down. As soon as it hit like your 60th minute, I already knew that Sebelebele was going to be man of the match. What a sensational performance, man. Pule Modi was completely out of the game. 1v1, Sebelebele was completely on top. On the other side, Lilepo, no one saw him in a game. He was there, but he was doing absolutely nothing. So I think the coaches really just wanted to hit Pirates on a counter, and it was just a plan that failed dismally.
Yeah, the plan wasn't working because I think for most of the game I was confused. Where are these people gonna attack from? Because okay, Pule Mori is trying, but there's no Hahono feeder. Lepo, like you said, we didn't see much of him. I saw a funny post, Moto Are utlwile ba bitsa lebitso la hae in the second half and remembered, oh, Lepo is on the pitch. And then still through the middle also, there wasn't any any through way. However, I do think there were some players that maybe showed a bit of like wanting to do something. I think it was Chislet, and then when they put in Velebai, also he showed something. What did you make of Velebai's performance, or who are the players that sort of showed that they wanted to do something?
I think Chislet definitely. Uh, he was coming into his second game generally of the season, because he hasn't gotten any minutes, and he was coming into the derby after a sensational performance against Dailies. So he had a very good first half. He tried in the center of the park, even though it was a very physical game for him, because after the previous game, I think Pirates saw the kind of uh, abilities that he have, the kind of threat that he could be. So they prioritized closing him down very quickly. So I think he tried. Veliba, yes, he came in the second half, and he was winning his 1v1s. He was able to put in a couple of crosses, even though they were wayward, but he was trying, and we could have gotten something there from those crosses if we were able to commit a lot of players going forward. But Silva and Lilepo were always very late to get into the box. So I think those two did very well. And they tried to bring in Etabo Tkele in the second half after a very bad performance from Nkosimpile Ngobo. But I think the damage was already done, especially in that center of the park. Everybody was just slow, and Mufukeng and Apolis made very good moves in order for them to create spaces for themselves to capitalize in the center of the park. Other than that, I think it was a very bad performance from everyone. A lot of mistakes from McCarthy, and it was horrible. It was a very one-sided game from the first minute to the last minute, like just pure dominance from Pirates.
Okay, I want to get in there, especially like because obviously at so far this conversation has been very technical, right? I want to understand like what is kind of the sentiment from the fans? Like what are the honest conversations you guys are having? I know I'm an outsider, Kimutaka next door and stuff, but I think I just want to see like internally what are you guys saying? Because we know it's been quite a long spell of like being going through hardships as a Kaizer Chiefs fan. So when something happens, like I'm always very interested to see like what is the perspective. Is the perspective still the same in terms of how you guys feel, or does it change according to like what you think the problem is now? Like I just want to understand like what do you guys see as the root problem, as the root cause, and what are those honest conversations like in the group chats or on social media?
I think the fans are just tired, man. The fans are honestly just tired because we've been very hopeful for a very long time, and it seems like things are not going to change anytime soon. Everyone has their opinions on where the problem is, but for me, everything starts at the top, right? I think the management has taken this club with very little priority, and they don't really care about the happiness of the fans because they keep doing the same thing each and every single season. And you do the same thing but expect different results, which never works. And I know that we won the Nedbank Cup, but then I feel like that was in a way low key delaying making changes. So everyone was just focusing on we won a cup after a very long time. Everyone was just happy, but we just kept delaying the things that we need to change. The thing of having a family business, I think it's the reason why the club is not doing very well, because you need to have people who are football people mind wise, especially as a sporting director. So because the sporting director is generally the one that makes a lot of decisions, coaching wise, analyst wise, player wise, scouting wise. So in order for us to fix, we need a very sporty person in that role, someone that understands the game and someone that understands what Kaizer Chiefs is. So the fans are tired, man. We complain about the same thing every week, and instead of letting go certain players, we just keep renewing and renewing and renewing. I don't think things are going to change anytime soon, man. It's bad. The fans are tired, honestly.
Okay, I get that perspective. I think it's a very, like, I've heard it a lot, and I think you're very fair in how you've analyzed the situation. But I also want to get at, we understand the management is what it is, especially in that situation. It's like you say, it's family. So we can't really get into how we can solve that. But I do think, yes, if we do that, there's probably going to be much better results that we get in trying to solve the problem. But I think let's take the problem a little bit lower to speak to, do you think that, especially in that game, was it a squad quality thing? Like, do you think that the Pirates squad quality is far stronger than Kaizer Chiefs, or do you feel like it's a coaching thing, it's a culture thing in the club where it's just problems on top of each other? Because I think I personally believe no one in the PSL is starved for talent, especially not the quote unquote top 3 teams in the country or in the league. So if that's the case, and we know that there's good talent, why is it not translating? Like, what do you think that problem is there, and how do you compare that or your players with Pirates players, especially from that game?
I think because it was a derby, anything could have happened given the kind of players that we have. So on the day, I just thought Pirates were the better team overall, right? It was not easy to pinpoint one thing. I just thought from start to finish, Pirates was just the better team, and it has been going on for a while since the beginning of the season. That's exactly how Pirates has been playing, right? They make sure that they win the ball quick. They are very direct. So I just thought overall, quality aside, I just thought Pirates were the better team. Because if in a derby, form doesn't really matter. It does contribute, but then we've seen over the years that things can just turn around any minute. So quality wise, I don't think it was a factor, but I just thought Pirates was generally the better team on the day.
Okay, let me make things a bit lighter. Let me ask one question. Be honest, me. Before the derby, like before you even saw the lineup leading up to this match, did you think Kaiser Chiefs would win? Did you have any hope that they would win?
Honestly, I did. I did believe that we could get something out of that game, considering how Kaizer Chiefs has been playing. Chiefs has been, especially in the first half of the season, we were never a side that concedes a lot. Defensively, we were very solid, but then going forward was also a problem. So we were not conceding, but we were not scoring. So it was just a matter of having a feeling that maybe we could get something out of this game. And even if we did lose, I never saw it becoming such a big margin. Maybe at least Boma a 2-1, just to show that both teams came to play, both teams came to perform. It just happens that there was a winner. So yes, I genuinely did think that we could get something out of this game, especially uh I know Chiefs came into the game with 2 losses behind them, and Pirates also came with 2 losses behind them. So it was a matter of who will step up today, and I think we could have gotten something if we really applied ourselves, man.
I agree with you. I think I also share the same sentiment that form does not matter in a Soweto derby. It's literally anyone's game. It depends who is willing or who wants to fight for the win and the 3 points more on the day. And unfortunately for yesterday's game, unfortunately for you, your team did not want it. Fortunately for us, our team wanted it more, and they were, like you said, the better team on the day. But thank you so much for availing yourself to speak to us. It's been very nice hearing from you. Hopefully, at the next Soweto Derby, we can also get you again and we can talk about it again because we do have another one. And I don't like this thing that they did now where the Soweto Derbies are played in the same year. They need to go back to one in November, then the other one the next year. Because what do you mean we're playing February and then April? It just makes no sense. But thank you so much for taking your time to come and speak to us. We've loved having you here.
Thank you so much for having me, and I hope I hope things do get a little lighter for Kaizer Chiefs. I just hope the fans continue to lower their expectations. Yehlisani kancane, guys. Just lower expectations, and let's try to balance things out. I saw that we're going to be playing Pirates and Sundowns, I think back to back. So hey, we need all the luck in the world, guys. Please, uh, we need something there. We need something. I don't know how, but if we do continue to play like we've been playing, I have news for my people, hey?
No, man, thank you. And we do hope that things will get better for Kaiser Chiefs. Just for you, ne? I sorry we wanted to get better, but yeah, even the way you speak, o buela ko fatshe. And I don't know you as a person, a buelang fatshe, so we do hope that go tla ba beterenyana, even if you guys end go number 5, number 6, it's still fine. It's still a good season.
Yes, no, I also agree. I think, keep the faith, ikhosa liphela umoya, all the things. I don't know what I would do if I was in your situation, but I think, at this point, you just all you have is hope, and all you have is just keeping it together and keeping the faith. But yeah, thank you so much, Lesego. This was lovely. I really enjoyed your take on the game. Also, being our first guest, we really love to see different opinions and having different perspectives and views on sports. So thank you so much. You'll always have a special place in this podcast heart.
No, thank you so much, guys. First guest, Bona, very much honored, and I will be happy to be back anytime. Just tell me, and I will definitely try to avail myself. You guys are doing a very good job with this podcast, and I wish it success going forward. And to more episodes, guys, to more episodes. We really love to hear opinions, especially sports wise. And it's very important to have conversations outside of the banter, outside of being very physical. Because I saw a lot of people fighting at the stadium. Hey, that was a very disturbing thing to see. So I think it's very important to just have honest and objective conversations about the game, and I think that will make it very enjoyable for everyone.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
No, thank you so much. We really appreciate you and we appreciate the support. But before you leave, there's a quick game that we want you to play with us. So Mbali, please take it away.
Okay, so I'm going to ask you based on the starting lineup from the Derby, who you would bench start or sell, right? So this is free. Even if you end up having two players on your squad because you've sold all of them, that's fine. This is for you to vent and tell us how you really feel about these players. Obviously, this is banter. You're not saying that these players are horrible all round. It's based off of one performance. So let it be taken that way in the community. I know people also want to fry us whenever we have opinions to say, but I think this is just for the lightness, guys. Let's bring some light into and some laughter as well into the stress that we go through. Because as a football fan, you go through a lot of stress. Your happiness, as we like to say, is determined every week by 11 men. So let's actually have some comedic fun around it. So I'm gonna ask you, you know who your starting lineup is. So you'll tell me if you agree that they should have been started, and then if you would rather bench them or if you want to completely sell them, which is fine. Again, it's based off of one performance, so you can be as free as possible. So let's start with the very first person, the goalkeeper. We know you mentioned Peterson, but start, bench, or sell Bruce Puma.
Well, Bruce Fuma.
Okay, we're already starting with the sale. Okay, and then in your midfielders, let's start with Gosi Peeling or
Oh, boy. Oof. Nah, I think Sale. He has been at the club for a really long time. And honestly, he's no longer a youngster. That's a grown man there. And he should be doing his work. So no, Sale.
Okay, you've classified him into the old age group, so it's okay. And unlucky for him, he's been sold. And then Lebahang Maboy,
My boy is definitely a start.
perfect. And then Ethan Chislett,
Nah, Chislet bench. Yeah, Chislet bench. I think he still needs to get his match fitness up, try to adjust to the tempo of the league. He'll get there, but bench.
sharp. And then we're moving on to the forwards now. So Modi,
Sell. Yo.
that's so hilarious. Not you, you're selling him so many times. Okay, then let's go to Lilepo.
Oh. Nah, Lilepo bench. I think that place was supposed to be for a youngster. A youngster should have played. Yeah, bench.
Okay, and then we have Da Silva.
The silver start.
Okay, cool. Then we have Monyani.
Munyani bench. Munyani on the
Okay.
bench.
Quinica?
Uh, 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 uh. Ish. I think Kunika start only because of a lack of options. He will start.
Okay. Then we're left two. So Miguel.
Miguel. Oof. Okay, this is a tough one. Hmm. Okay, let's start Miguel. For the sake, let's start Miguel.
Okay. McCarthy.
McCarthy bench.
Okay.
Starts on the bench.
That's not bad though. You didn't sell your whole team, you know. You had a few sales like 4-3, and then mostly you were benching and then you were starting a few people. So that's not bad. That speaks to you guys have good quality.
Quality wise, there are players. But majority of the team, I think they don't really deserve to be playing at Kaiser Chiefs. And because of how they do business, we're still going to continue to get your fringe players, your players who are coming to the team for salaries and retirement packages. So some will come and perform, but then yeah, we'll just have to make it work with whatever we have.
You know what? Let's take you out of your misery. You know, I'm sure you've dreaded this conversation because you have to speak about a Kaizer Chiefs that didn't do so well. We hope, though, that when we do get you the next time, that you are very confident about all your players and that you also would have won. That's actually going to be a fun one to do, where we're the ones who've lost and then you are the one telling us like what should have been done. But thank you so much for playing this game. I had a lot of fun.
It was so much fun. Thank you so much, guys.
So here at Across the Codes, we are a big family. We have a huge support system. We have a huge circle. And I know there's a lot of people who would have loved to come on the podcast and share their thoughts on the game. As this is a special episode or a special edition, we decided to get some of the thoughts of people who are either supporters of either team or just lovers of the sport. And here's what they had to say.
My thoughts on the Soweto Derby was that Kaizer Chiefs losing three back-to-back games kind of stopped any kind of momentum going into the league or feeling CAF or Nedbank. So getting knocked out of the Nedbank and CAF 2 weeks prior kind of to the number on the fans and the players themselves. So going to this game, I think Chiefs fans expected some kind of miracle to stay in this supposed title race with Pirates themselves and Sundowns as well, even if you include Sekhukhune United. But I think overall game, I would rate it from a Chiefs side of things. As a fan, I would rate it a solid 5 out of 10 performance. So I think much better things should happen for the team in the future games. Leading up into March and April, because once it hits May, that's when things start to slowly wrap up. But I think overall for the game itself, it was not a great game to watch as a Chiefs fan, but congrats to the Pirates team.
Let me just start off by saying that Kaizer Chiefs displayed terrible football in that Soweto Derby. No hunger, no urgency, no aggressiveness, just pure vibes. Their defense was all over the place. They looked disorganized. There was poor communication, bad positioning. They often left so much space in that box, and Pirates took advantage, and Kaizer Chiefs was punished. In that midfield, they couldn't even take control or dictate the tempo. They would lose out on key battles and often lose the ball in crucial places at crucial times. And that lack of authority in the middle field is what loses you games. When it comes to them trying to go on the attack, they didn't have any attacking fluency. There was no connection between the midfield and attack. You would swear that they just met on the day of the fixture, that they didn't know each other at all. So yeah.
That was a quality game. I can summarize it by saying it was a classic example of high octane attacking approach from our team, which is Pirates. Defensive wise, the boys held it well. Defensive structure as well, the shifting was well. Only thing final decision making when it comes to passing CM, but what a great talent he is. I say let's give him time, he will turn into a veteran. Midfield wise, Macaulay deserves my flowers because in order for Mbata and relate to sometimes drop inside and drop down, Macaulay was creating spaces, was always first on the ball after we lose so that we can, quickly attack them. So everyone was doing well. Moremi, quality. It's just that decision making, Alice on point. I just need him to put power behind the ball. That way he can score more goals. Aim for the target and just kick the ball. Mapolis, everyone did well. Everyone did well. Mike Mamusha, come on, deservedly so won man of the match. But Tuma, listen, people are on his head, but the boy still has a lot of improvements to do, especially with off the ball runs and positional play. But everyone was tactically disciplined, so it was a beautiful game to watch. If I had to teach anyone or myself also by dissecting this game, if I wanted to learn a thing or two from each and every position, I would say our team did well and they pitched up for the game. As for others, Hades.
It's always so nice to hear how we can all watch the same game, but also all just take different opinions or different views from the game. Because, like, one thing, if there's one thing for sure, we don't watch football the same way or we don't see football the same way. However, friend, I've really enjoyed this special episode. I've loved it. I've loved the conversations we've had together and with our guests. Hopefully, we can have more special episodes. What do you think?
Yes, I've absolutely loved this episode. It's always nice to actually have community engaging with each other. As we said, the heart of this podcast is basically to just create a community where people feel safe and feel like championed, really, to share whatever weird takes or whatever takes they have on their favorite sports and to truly watch the game and engage with it in a way that is unique to you, that is authentic to you, and to have a community that supports that. So I think we saw very different perspectives, and we got all these different perspectives all in one. So it's very beautiful. I think this is one of the things that I don't like about going to the stadium is everybody is speaking at the same time about what they think is wrong. That's the one thing I hate about a stadium atmosphere, because people, obviously, if you watch football, you speak about it. But what I loved about this is that it was one at a time, and we're giving each other a chance. We're giving each other the platform to speak so we can hear you. And I think we should have more of these so that those people at the stadium you must speak about it outside when you go. You see those podcasts people do, or those videos people do outside the stadium where they're asking you how you're feeling. That's when you must speak. When we're busy watching, I mean, it does add to the atmosphere and it adds to the culture. That is the culture of watching football. You're going to complain immediately. But hey, for people like me who just want to process the game without processing you and what you're saying, yes, I think let's have more podcasts where people talk about it. Before I ramble further, though, this was lovely. Thank you to everyone who showed us or gave us their perspective. It was lovely. And thank you again, friend, for all the work that you continue to do, for all the, united work that we do, and our creativity, and just how much we love this time that we have on Sundays. It's the best time for me in the week. So thank you as well.
Oh, friend, thank you so much. I don't see myself doing this with anybody but you. We've been really having so much fun together, and I just hope we'll have fun and our little family will grow, our little circle will grow. And yes, guys, all takes are accepted here. We don't discriminate. We accept everything. But this has been a lovely special episode. We've come to the end of it. And as you know, guys, we are on socials at Across the Codes on Instagram and TikTok. Do follow us. Do follow us there. We also have a blog. Our Instagram has our link tree, so you can find everything there. This has been nice, but thank you for joining us. Bye.
Goodbye.